So why osteoarthritis? You have to understand the pathophysiology. It is made up of collagen and chondroitin and all those protein, what are known as proteoglycans. So the collagen matrix within which is proteoglycans, which is what gives us the articular cartilage, which is smooth in surface and shock absorbent. And the chondrocytes keep on secreting this. As we age, the chondrocytes undergo those degenerative changes and their ability to produce proteoglycans is become lesser. The collagen fibril laying down also becomes lesser, and thereby the shock absorption capacity goes down and the chondrocytes start conglomerating in groups instead of being spread out and doing their function beautifully. And that's where the articular cartilage loses its capacity to load bear, loses its smoothness and starts developing fibrillar patterns. And because of that, the subchondral bone has to take more load. So the subchondral undergoes microfractures. To heal that, there is sclerosis and there is edema. So you develop subchondral cystic changes, subchondral sclerosis. And because now there is new bone formation, to heal that, there is an osteophyte. Now because there is an osteophyte and an articular cartilage which is gone down, in reaction to that, there will be an inflammation of synovitis or effusion or a tendinopathy or a meniscal tear, and you develop symptoms of osteoarthritis. So, cartilage is aneural, avascular. The pain happens due to the periarticular structures or the subchondral bone. So, the nutrition of the cartilage is not through vascularity, it is through the fluid in the synovium and the constant loading, unloading that keeps on taking place. That loading, unloading allows the nutrients from the synovium to be shifted to the cartilage. And that's why these exercises that we are talking about is what allows the nutrition of the cartilage to be better. So it is not sitting cross-legged which causes the trouble. It is sitting cross-legged for hours together without moving which causes the trouble. Because there is no cyclical loading, the synovial fluid which has the nutrients does not let it get imbibed in the articular cartilage. And that's where the trouble is. So you may be able to sit cross-legged, but you are able to do the exercises repeatedly and you are able to change the postures repeatedly. Then there is a cyclical loading which then allows better nutrition to the cartilage. Not talking about pure osteoarthritis where immobility for no reason is going to be detrimental because the articular cartilage has to be supplied with nutrients. So weight bearing is that cyclical loading is also, that's why so many times in the longer run walking and aqua aerobics and yoga and all helps is because of this. Cyclical loading means just add load on, load off, load on, load off. So it's not necessarily cyclical in that sense. So it's what I'm trying to say is khade hi rahe, baithe hi rahe. One posture for long is trouble. बैठे हैं बीच में थोड़ा मूवमेंट कर लिया, so this is cyclical loading. या चल लिया, that is cyclical loading. So you are adding and deleting weight. You are adding and deleting weight. When you are doing this SLR, so you are actually adding the lower limb body weight as a pressure on the patellofemoral area, no? So there is a load coming on it. That's, and an average is say 30 to 45 minutes would be a good time to change posture for be it neck, back, knee, anything. Now this is what someone was asking about, should we sit cross-legged, should we climb stairs? Now this flexion loading is this. This posture is flexion loading. Flexion loading causes the greatest stress on the patellofemoral joint. So it is said that the cartilage will undergo more trouble. That's why the thought came that you should not squat, you should not climb stairs, you should not sit cross-legged because flexion loading increases. But this is the Western thought process because they don't need to do puja, they don't need to use Indian style toilet, they don't need to offer namaz. Whereas we've seen here that people who are 85 also, they are squatting, they are sitting cross-legged, their knees may be showing degenerative changes, but they are asymptomatic. So what is more important? So my take on this is, if the patellofemoral affection is severe and the symptoms are patellofemoral wise too much, then I say avoid all these things. But just because they have a knee pathology, I will tell them don't do that. I'll say no, I want you to do it because preserving function preserves structure also. I'm of that thought. There is the original thought orthopedically is structure gives function. I am saying preserving function allows structural integrity. That thought is because then you are allowing the periarticular structures to remain active with the discipline of what I talked of. कि हाँ आपको नीचे बैठने को अलाउड है, लेकिन नीचे बैठ के 3 घंटा हिले ही नहीं, that is not allowed. आप एक्सरसाइज करोगे ही नहीं, that is not allowed. You want to do all that, but you better do exercise to counteract that. So that's the kind of trade-off that I talk of to the patients. So what I say is, it is always better to change posture after every half an hour, 45 minutes. Well, I have so many old ladies who want to do puja for hours. I say, fine, you do puja, but sit on the chair rather than on the ground. Make sure that you are fully supported, and then do your puja, but every half an hour, get up. Do some movement of your knee, do some movement of your back, and then again sit and continue doing it. So that breaks the continuity and hence prevents these troubles. People who have an injury and are immobilized, their articular cartilage undergoes a bad change. Yes, agreed. And that's why post-immobilization you need physiotherapy to regain all that. But it's a trade-off. You want the meniscus or you want the ligament to heal. At that same time, yes, there are trade-off that the articular cartilage will undergo some garbage.